History of ice hockey. Ice hockey is believed to have evolved from simple stick and ball games played in the 18th and 19th centuries in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and elsewhere, primarily bandy, hurling, and shinty. The North American sport of lacrosse was also influential. Arguably, the game's most influential to the early design of ice hockey were early forms of an organized sport today, known as bandy, a sport distinctly separate from ice hockey. These games were brought to North America and several similar winter games using informal rules developed, such as shinny and ice ball, but would later be absorbed into a new organized game with codified rules, which today is ice hockey. The origin of ice hockey was bandy, a game that has its roots in the Middle Ages. Just as for practically all other sports, the game of bandy achieved its modern form during the 19th century in England, more exactly in the Fen district on the East Coast. From the Fen district the game was spread to London, and from London to the continent during the second half of the 19th century. British soldiers stationed in eastern Canada brought the game to the North American continent in the 1850s and 60s. You could find similar games there, played by immigrants or chiefly Dutch and by Indians. Thus, there were a number of different games played on skates with a stick and ball and with varying rules in America before ice hockey was invented.
Facilities. All hockey-specific facilities are located on campus, making training convenient and readily accessible for our student athletes. So, the facilities are the Olympic-size ice surface, the state-of-the-art ice skill development facility, a high-performance mayor training facility for strength and conditioning coaches, individual team dressing rooms, a fully equipped gymnasium, a skating treadmill, and an on-site skate sharpening and equipment repair services. There are also an athletic training room which has athletic therapist, a health services which has school sport doctor and nursing staffs, and a video live streaming of all home games. These are the equipment of ice hockey. Equipment guide. One of the biggest thrills for a new youth hockey player is getting the chance to put on their equipment, following this guide in numerical order to get yourself ready to play. Number 1. Supporter and cup is a very essential protective equipment to protect your genitals also. Number 2. Shin pads. Shin pads are to check the proper length to ensure pads protect the knee. Shin pads are there to protect the knee, so shin pads are needed to be checked for proper length to ensure pads protect the knee and shin completely. Number 3 is the ice hockey socks. It is basically a sock but for ice hockey itself. It is a pull-on over shin pads and attached to Velcro on hockey supporter. Number 4. Pants or breezers. The pants or breezers provide protection for the lower spine, hips, and thighs. Number 5. The skates. Skates are a very fundamental, a very important equipment in ice hockey. They should be laced from bottom to top tightly to ensure that the ankles do not bend. Number 6. Shoulder pads. Shoulder pads line up the center line of the player's shoulders with the center of the shoulder pad caps. Number 7. The elbow pads. Elbow pads are tightened so pads do not move on the arms during play. Number 8. Jersey. So jersey represents the team and also the player, and jersey goes over shoulders and elbow pads. Number 9. Helmet and face mask. Helmet and face mask are an equipment that protects your face from injuries and accidents. It must be of a design and construction approved by the Hockey Equipment Certification Council or HECC. Number 10, gloves. Gloves protects the fingers and it checks for good fingers and hand mobility. Number 11, stick. The stick's length should generally extend from the ice to the player's shin with skates on.
Rules of the game. Basic rules. Legal teams are 5 skaters and a goalie. Players may play on only one team. If teams compete with borrowed players, the game is recorded as a forfeit for the shorthanded team. All leagues games are 30 minutes straight play. The clock will start at game time. No overtime during the regular season. Tie games will be recorded as such. No slap shots. Shots taken from above the waist. At all. Not during warm-ups or games. Offside or icing is called in the Granite League only. No offside in green, Muzalauk, or women's leagues. No checking of any kind. Checking is any intentional body contact that causes a clear change in the skating direction or impedes the progress of a player, with or without possession of the puck. This includes, but is not limited to, any intentional body contact that causes a player to lose possession of the puck or any contact with players away from the puck that hinders their normal movement. Regulations. Game time is forfeit time. No varsity hockey players are allowed on IM teams. If you do not have a legal team, 5 skaters and a goalie, at game time, your team must forfeit. You can play a game with a less than legal team, but the game is recorded as forfeit. No more than 11 can dress per game. Only one manager or coach allowed on the bench per team. They must wear a helmet at all times. Skates only allowed on the ice, no dress shoes. A manager or coach must enter the bench from the stands, not the ice. Ice time is tight to the minute. The clock starts at the game time. Come plenty early to get your equipment. No one is allowed on the ice once the Zamboni doors are open, and they are closed after an ice make. Green, rookie league teams have club or hockey retired players. Green league players are those with none to extremely limited skating experience. Muzalauk teams may have 2 club hockey players, no retired varsity players. Teams with more than 2 clubs or any retired varsity players must play in the Granite League. After each game, officials will assign a sportsmanship rating to each team. Rating are 0 to 3, with 3 being given for exemplary conduct. The ratings will be averaged over the course of the regular season games and playoffs. Teams must have an average score of 2 to be playoff eligible, to remain eligible during playoffs. Teams dropping below 2 in the playoffs will be eliminated from the tournament.
First, improves brain function and alleviates anxiety. Exercise overall is an excellent way to improve your mood. It helps you to release endorphins, which in turn helps to combat depression, stress, and anxiety. Second, helps to develop a positive body image. Whether seeking to lose weight in a fun way or helping your son or daughter achieve a positive body image while strengthening their mind and body, hockey is an excellent fast-paced sport for all of the above. Third, develops positive communication. Effective communication is key to many factors in life, from a productive work environment to a positive school experience. Knowing how to communicate effectively can alter the mental stress or discomfort of having to interact with individuals. Fourth, develops a winning and losing graciously attitude. Whether on the ice or off, parents should be encouraging their children to have the mindset of winning and the attitude of accepting failure as an opportunity for growth. By having these conversations leading up to hockey training or ringgit, it will better prepare your child for both and help them accept either scenario.